Joins us from our Sea Point studios now to talk a little bit more about the gold mining strikes. Michael, good morning to you. It's good to have you on the program again, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me. Unfortunately, it's bad news that I have to bring this morning.
Yeah.
As you've just said, we're expecting big happenings tonight.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at this now. All right, now South Africa's economy, I mean, it's a struggling economy when you look at it from a bigger picture and bigger scheme of things. How are we going to cope with a series of wage demands and strikes in several sectors? Can the country honestly afford a gold mining strike at this time?
No, we can't. In fact, last Thursday at the Lekgotla, held by our Deputy President, Mark Kutafani, who is the chairman of that Lekgotla, specifically outlined that if we miss each other, in other words, Labour and management miss each other in their discussions, we're going to be seeing more shafts closing down, we're going to see thousands of jobs being lost, it'll never recover. And we are on that cusp tonight. They're going on that strike. And as you might have heard, the employers, the different mines, are discussing the lockout of people. So even people who want to actually work might get locked out by the latest on Friday. So we are really in a battle. This is a major battle to the end. And a lot of us are saying it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah, it is a race to the bottom. And I mean, if that's a phrase that we can use. But I mean, when we look at, and this is something that we discussed the last time I interviewed you, the discrepancies between what the employers are offering and what the unions are demanding. I mean, some between 60 and 100%. How do you find a solution with such huge differing gaps?
Well, there can't be a solution with the parties are left to their own. That's not going to happen. We need to get the intervention. Our government has taken this extremely seriously. As you recall, last year, the Minister of Labour was wholly absent from Marikana. This year, the Deputy President has been sent in. Mr. Motlanthe has been sent in, and he timelessly was sent in to actually try and get the parties to see each other. Now, it's completely unsustainable when you have an employer deadlocking at 6.5%, 7%, and you've got NUMSA asking for 60%, and you've got UMCU asking for 150%.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no ways you can leave the party to some sort of Solomonic wisdom. You know, normally when you have 5% and 7%, Solomonic wisdom tells us they're going to settle at 6%. This is not the case over here. So we're really warring factions. How they're going to find each other is a problem. And the elephant in the room, unfortunately, is South Africa. All of us, you and I, are going to suffer bitterly because of this. This is not because it's stuck away somewhere in the hills and in a mine in the northern parts of the country. We are all in this boat together. We are springing a leak, and no one seems to know how to try and plug that hole.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, we did have that solution here in Cape Town only yesterday. Late last night, the parties found each other in the clothing and textile sector, and they've settled. And that we were sitting over here, we thought this was really the winter of discontent, and they've settled. It's wonderful news. It's fantastic for the Cape. We're getting people going back to work today. And there's no issue.
Yeah, which is good news. Which is good news. But the bad news is this mining strike. And we're running out of time, and I just want to wrap this up. And very quickly, if you could answer this. South Africa could lose if the mining industry is shut down, the gold mining industry is shut down. We could talk about $35 million a day in lost output if this does go ahead. Well, it is going ahead, as you said. We can't afford this. What is going to happen to South Africa?
Well, we saw Minister Pravin Gordhan last year saying we lost over 5 billion rand to the fiscus because of the Marikana disaster. This time we're looking at doubling that to 10 billion rand. We cannot afford that. We need the money. The government needs the money. We need all sorts of resources to be put back into the country. And if the government doesn't have this money, they can't afford it.
Yeah.
No housing, electricity, etc.
All right, Michael, I got to leave it there. Not good news. We'll follow up with you very shortly once this strike gets underway, unfortunately. Michael Bagraim is, he's a gold mining analyst and talking to us, well, a labour analyst actually, just talking to us about this pending gold mining strike that's about to kick off this evening.